What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. During the last part, we saw a brand new scenario where Vegeta ended up going Super Saiyan on Namek, and because of this, it changed a lot in the story. With the way I applied it, it basically made the arc have a completely different ending. Also sending everyone off to different locations, giving different powers to each person too. While Vegeta has Super Saiyan and Goku doesn't, Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, and Gohan are now on Yardrat together. All of these factors together of course have some pretty interesting implications, and we'll be seeing all that and more in this part. For this video, let's set a like goal of 4,000 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part to the series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. With Vegeta now on his own out in space, he needs to figure out, what the hell is he gonna do next? Well, for the time being, he could at least pursue more intensive training. That's one thing that he knows for sure. He wants to get a better grasp on Super Saiyan, seeing more growth with it, and also being able to control it better without losing too much stamina. That was a big issue on Namek. Of course, he was pretty tired out there, and he was injured, but still. Even without those factors in play, he knows that those may be issues going forward. The greatest part is, he heals up a bit after leaving Namek. He was pretty badly injured and was fighting to the brink of death. He actually did almost die against Frieza. And in terms of how much he stressed himself by draining his energy using Super Saiyan, that was like he basically almost died twice, given the expenditure of energy there. And he's elated. As he begins to heal more and more, he feels the power coursing through him. He's gonna get a massive boost in power thanks to his Zenkai. And actually, he knows what he wants to do next now. Frieza wasn't the only issue, no. Even though the Frieza force was mostly defeated on Namek, there's still some of them around the galaxy. And there is another pretty big figurehead that he needs to take care of, King Cold. He goes to seek out King Cold. Vegeta needs to make sure that there's no loose ends here. Plus, fighting King Cold will be a great test of his new power. Vegeta arrives at one of the Frieza force's base of operations. He can sense King Cold's here, he knows it. And this time, he doesn't actually just go around killing the soldiers. No, he has an idea. He goes right to King Cold himself. And King Cold's amazed. Vegeta's alive? Wait, what happened with Frieza then? Did he actually kill Frieza? They did assume that he might have died, but they weren't actually sure. There's no way someone could have killed Frieza. And Vegeta confirms this. How is that possible? It's not like King Cold cared too much about him anyways, but still, what the hell is this guy that he was able to kill Frieza? Vegeta asks King Cold, is he scared of Super Saiyans as well? King Cold's taken aback, not sure what Vegeta means. And then he transforms, showing off Super Saiyan. His reaction is pretty similar to Frieza's, and Vegeta loves it. He even comments on this. He looks just like Frieza. That same face of fear that he saw on Namek. It's what he's seeing right now, and it makes him elated. There's barely even a fight here. Vegeta starts to fight King Cold, and he's actually way above him. He knew he was stronger thanks to Super Saiyan, of course, and because of his Zenkai, but it seems he gained way more strength than he first thought. King Cold tries to put up a fight, but it does absolutely nothing. He ends up dying against Vegeta. And now, Vegeta's tied up all the loose ends. But what does he do with this giant army? They're still here. He kept them alive for a reason. That's because he's gonna take them under his control. Some of the soldiers did watch this entire fight go down, and they look at Vegeta in fear. They don't know what to do, so they just kneel down to him. He was unsure before, but now, seeing this, he knows what he wants to do. This entire army, it's gonna be his now. There's no more Frieza Force, no Cold Force, whatever. Vegeta yells out to all the soldiers here. He's gonna build a new army, with no Frieza or Saiyans needed. This planet will be known as New Planet Vegeta, led by Prince Vegeta himself, who now takes Frieza's title as Lord Vegeta. But what does he want to do with this new kingdom, quote-unquote kingdom? Well, he's not entirely sure, but he has an entire army at his disposal. I guess that makes it the Vegeta Force. Doesn't roll off the tongue as nicely as the Frieza Force. But he goes with it. He doesn't even really need an army, but who knows, maybe he can do some pretty cool things with it. He tries to seek out Namek again, but it's gone. They did actually move the planet after he left, just like they were suggested to. Damn. Well, he could go to Earth at least, but that might be risky. I mean, yeah, he is a Super Saiyan right now, but who knows how strong Kakarot and the others have gotten. He lost to them once. He might lose to them again. He wants to at least get a little bit stronger just to ensure that he'll win. Okay, if he can't find Namek now and he doesn't want to go to Earth, what's he gonna do in terms of Dragon Balls? There might be some more elsewhere. He begins trying to think, trying to figure out where he can go. Either way, he continues training just so he can remain as the strongest. He'll improve Super Saiyan even further and get even stronger, far stronger than anyone could ever imagine. Speaking of growing stronger, the other group continues their training on Yardrat. They have less time there because they do want to go back to Earth sooner, but the group does learn some unique techniques. As for Goku and Gohan, they opt to learn instant transmission, while Krillin and Piccolo focus on other spirit techniques, such as spirit fission. Goku's intrigued by this, but it's not really his style to learn this. He doesn't really just want to steal people's energy during a battle. I mean, he's fine with something like a spirit bomb where he's lended energy, but stealing energy? Not really his thing. He'd rather fight the old-fashioned way. Of course, back when Goku originally went into Yardrat, well, spirit fission didn't exist. Decades ago when this was written, it wasn't a thing. But when you look at what happened with Vegeta and his training for this, we can come up with another reason for Goku to not learn it, and that's simply that he doesn't have enough time. I mean, it was shown with Vegeta. He focused so much on Spirit Fission that he didn't even have time to learn instant transmission. So I feel like this is a fair trade-off. Each person gets one thing. But either way, this suits each of their styles. Goku and Gohan can now teleport anywhere in the middle of battle, while Piccolo and Krillin have limited access to Spirit Fission. But soon enough, Bulma decides that she really wants to head back to Earth. It's been way too long, and they even have a ship here, so it's not going to be too hard to get there. She does want to take the ship back to Earth too, just for the tech on it. But Goku decides he's just going to test out his new technique. He grabs onto everyone, placing 2 fingers on his forehead as he seeks out Earth, and then everything around them completely changes. He was able to do it. He actually teleported everyone to Earth. This technique's awesome. Bulma's ship was nice, but obviously this is way better. And when they return to Earth, let's say this is around the same time that Vegeta killed King Cold and took over that army. And once Goku's back on Earth, he knows exactly what he wants to do next. I mean, of course, on Yardrat, he didn't give up his goal of trying to get Super Saiyan. But now that he's on Earth, this is going to be his main focus. He wants to get this form, if it's at all possible. He's not sure how Vegeta got it though, but the others try and help to the best of their abilities by explaining what they saw, or at least what they felt too. Goku needs some sort of raw emotion. That's probably the key to it. I mean, consider the situation Vegeta was in. Maybe Goku needs something similar. Who knows though? He doesn't even know if he could access this. Maybe it's something only elite Saiyans can do. I mean, Vegeta kept preaching about this beforehand, so maybe there's a reason that there's elite and low-class Saiyans. Goku doesn't know after all. He's just going off what he knows so far. He's basically just piecing together every little bit of info that he knows about Saiyans and trying to get some info from that. But either way, he could at least do some regular training, especially some gravity training too. And he has the perfect training partner for that, Gohan and Piccolo. So he spends most of his time training with them. We get into a short time skip, and not too much happens here. Of course, the other humans are revived too. But besides that, there's nothing really interesting to note. It's basically just Goku and his crew training, with Vegeta trying to command his new army and also training himself. But after this time passes on Earth, one day at Capsule Corp, a visitor shows up. It's Bulma, or at least they think it is. It looks like her, except she looks a bit older and her hairstyle is different. And there's also Bulma there already, so there's 2 Bulmas now? Bulma's confused. What is this? Is this Oolong or something? The other Bulma says she'll explain everything. She just needs everyone else to come here too, including Goku and all the other fighters. They all arrive at Capsule Corp, amazed to see that there's another Bulma. Oh, so this isn't a trick. This is actually another Bulma. And it turns out that she's from the future. Yep, future Bulma's the time traveler this time. And since it's Bulma, she doesn't need a secret identity. She can just go as is. Wait, if she's the time traveler, what happened then in the future? Well, of course, without Vegeta on Earth, Trunks was never born. At some point, Goku does fall ill to the heart virus, and he ends up dying. Then, the androids attacked, killing most of the strong fighters. And with less of them around this time, this means that Gohan ended up dying too. Which he would have anyways even if Trunks was there. Although, he was able to access Super Saiyan. That's the one thing that Bulma can confirm. But besides that, everything is gone. A few others did survive, of course, including Bulma herself, who did make a time machine. This is her last shot. She's trying to fix everything by going back in time, but she's not sure if it's actually going to work. Hopefully it at least accomplishes something. Wait, what about Vegeta though? Well, she explains. He came to Earth and saw it in disarray. Vegeta had become incredibly influential by that point, but with no Goku on Earth and everything destroyed, he didn't care about this planet and he left it to rot. It's not like it had any value to him anyways. He only came here to get his revenge against Goku and his crew, but if they're all dead, there's nothing to do here. The androids, that's their problem. So he does still exist in the future, but he's out in space, not caring about Earth anymore. Especially because there's no Dragon Balls here. He might have done other things too, because now that there's no one to stop him, who knows, maybe he went to Namek and got immortality, or something else. But again, Bulma has no info on this. So now, the group knows of the 3 issues they had. Of course they knew about Vegeta beforehand, but now they have 2 others on top of it. The androids and the heart virus. Now I know there might be some people in the comments asking why didn't everyone get the heart virus? Well, in my videos I usually go with the explanation that the heart virus is something that Goku contracted as a kid, and it's been lingering in him ever since. He did live like a feral animal after all. It was never actually confirmed that he got it on Yardrat, so that doesn't mean that everyone here is going to get it too because they went there. I use that explanation in all my videos and I'm going to use it again here. Okay, well that's one thing solved. Goku will be sure to take his medicine. But what about the androids? Unlike in the main story, they're not just going to wait around to actually fight them. Maybe that idea will cross their mind, but it's not going to work here. Since it's 2 Bulmas, and there's 1 less Saiyan, there's more of a vote towards destroying the androids now instead of just leaving them. Especially with future Bulma being very persistent about it. And she's right. With the risk here, this isn't something that they could do. They have less people to fight the androids. And hearing how grim the future is, they definitely need to do something now. So, they start to seek out the androids with future Bulma there. At some point, they do find Jiro's lab, and Future Bulma's amazed. She's been looking for this the entire time, but was never able to find it. It might have even been destroyed in the future. Of course, Jiro is there too, and he's immediately killed. It's not like he could fight anyways. He's only just in the process of turning himself into an android. He hasn't actually done it fully yet. But where are the androids themselves? Well, Bulma said there was 2 of them and they look like teenagers. But since they got here so early, they're actually fine. They find the people that Jiro was scoping out. They find profiles on 2 teenagers, Lapis and Lazuli. But he hasn't actually kidnapped them yet. He hasn't even started working on them. He just has the blueprints. There's no androids to destroy because they're not even created yet. This is perfect. Well, almost. So those 2 androids might not be there, but they see a bunch of pods for other androids. All of them are labeled as failed projects or they've been destroyed, used for scrap parts. But they're able to find the most recent one, labeled number 16. This one is a powerful android apparently, according to these blueprints. But he's uncontrollable. Future Bulma said she never saw this android, and they do consider destroying him, but maybe they can do something different. Maybe they could reprogram him. I mean, why waste all this work? Bulma has way more resources than Jiro, and with her brain power combined with her dad, they probably have more intelligence collectively too. They could definitely figure something out. Future Bulma never even considered this. Yeah, that might work. They have all his blueprints here after all, and he's not activated yet. She could easily reverse engineer this. But as they continue looking around the lab, they find more and more things, more blueprints. This will be useful for Future Bulma too because now she realizes that she can make a self-destruct button for the androids. Each of them seems to have a bomb in them, so that'll be perfect. It's a way for her to defeat them. But there is one more project that they find. He's not far along yet at all. He actually just started. There's some tube in a basement below where they found the androids. And something's growing in it. They can't tell yet, but the project is labeled Cell. It seems to be some sort of bio-android. And it seems like it's going to be dangerous. It's collected all the data from so many people. From every major fight that's occurred on Earth, it has data from that. As well as DNA from all these fighters. Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, King Piccolo, Vegeta, so many different fighters. It seems very dangerous. But given what they're doing with Android 16, why not take this too? From what they could tell, this android won't be built for a while. Even if they try and speed up the process, that's not going to work. This might take years for him to form, but they could definitely do something about it. So alongside Android 16, they take this guy too. And Future Bulma was actually glad with how this turned out. She just reminds Goku, be sure to take that medicine for the heart virus. And he says he'll try to. Well, this might not actually reverse things in the future. She still does have a theory that this might be a different timeline instead of the same one. But even if that's the case, it's okay. Of course it means she can't reverse the damage done in her timeline, but she still can defeat the androids with the remote. And she ended up saving this timeline, so it all works out in the end. She thanks everyone for their help, and they thank her too. Without her, they would have all been doomed to the same fate. They all say their goodbyes as she goes back to her timeline. Now, what is she gonna do here? Well, besides destroying the androids, she does get another idea. Maybe Jiro's lab is still around there somewhere. Of course, it was too dangerous to search for before, but now she could actually look. And of course, it still is there, partially destroyed, but there are some interesting things in there. All the androids are destroyed, except for a certain project in the basement. Just like they did in the past, maybe she could reprogram this thing. Cell exists in the future too. And the thing is, he's very far along in development. She could reprogram him. Although, there still are some issues. Even with present Cell and future Cell being found, there is still a third one from another timeline trying to seek out the androids. He's only just arrived in the past, and he did have to revert to a less powerful and smaller form just to actually fit in the time machine. But soon enough, he will show up. And of course, out in space, Vegeta begins reconstructing the Saiyan Empire, or at least the Vegeta Empire. There's no Saiyans needed here, just one. They just need the Super Saiyan. And this is where we're going to leave off for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? Or what do you think is going to happen next time? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part of the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future uploads on my channel, including more parts of the series or any other videos like it. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.